up with this experiment.
Okay. So we're back. Gosh dang.
Yeah. So
We're talking for a long
I guess it's a two-parter. So we went on. We don't know where.
Go watch part 1 and
Yeah.
This is the continuation.
We're not sure when it got cut off, but what we were talking about was closed time-like curves, where you, depending on when this curve is created, it's a rotating black hole that folds space-time in on itself, allowing you to enter and exit at different points in time. This would allow you to go back in time. Okay. And the math works. They've done the math. Math works. They've theorized that it would work. And based on the math, they've proven it. Now, experimentally, how do you prove it? What they're going to try to do is a ring of lasers that are high-powered to create an electromagnetic force strong enough to rotate the empty space in the lasers, creating an effect of a black hole folding in on itself. And if they can do that, from the moment they create this closed time-like curve, all the way to whenever their present is, they could travel in and out of points in space-time. And as long as it's open, it continues to work. So if there's a closed time,
what do you mean as long as it's open?
As long as it's open, the present keeps continuing on. The past from when it was created is the constant. So that past is always accessible. And as it continues to live, the closed time-like curve, as it continues being generated and powered and rotating, then the present is the variable that changes. So you could enter. So as long as we keep it open for a week from now, you could enter that curve and come out today. That's the point. So if we open that loop today is the ending point.
Have you seen the movie Primer?
No.
That's the mechanics for that movie.
Okay.
Dude, that movie's so good. So it's one of my favorite time travel movies of all time.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
So check it out. Here's basically how the time travel works in it. They unintentionally create this time machine. They were trying to do something with robotics, and then they were doing something with power. And then anyway, they're these engineers. They create a time machine. And so what they do is they have a box, and it's this little box. They put a watch in it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the most like mathematically correct and like sound time travel movie ever.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So they go in, and there's a certain amount of time that like has to lapse, and it's like this odd number, and they explain all that. But anyway, they realize it's a time machine. They go in and they stay in it, let's say for like 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
And he stays in the time machine for 10 hours, and then he gets out and he goes and he hides in a hotel room. He does that so when the other version of him from the past, it won't be affected. Yeah. Because he's stuck in a hotel room, doesn't answer phone calls.
Right.
Because the other version of him doesn't know any of this stuff.
He's trying to prevent a paradox.
Preventing a paradox.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So version A, who's waiting in the hotel, right? And then version B comes and does their whole day, whatever.
Yeah.
And then ends up going into the box for the amount of hours. So, dude, it's such a trip, though, how it's these loops where you set it for this time.
Yeah.
And you go exactly back to that time.
Right.
It's such a trip. Dude, the movie's so good, though. And you have to watch it like 3 times to even understand what happened.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, this character, that's the future version of him. That's the past version of this. It's genius, actually. It's like low budge, but super good movie, dude. But
so it sounds like they're using this theory.
It's exactly this theory.
Yeah, this became really popular in like the 90s. Is it like a 90s movie?
Early aughts, yeah.
Okay, so so after this had been like a really prominent. So again, this has been proven. It just hasn't been experimentally proven.
I explained that movie so poorly. It's like really a great movie.
I'm sure.
There's so much.
I got the gist of it.
Okay, good.
But here's my point. So how could we use? So there are closed time-like curves out in the galaxy somewhere, right? There has to be a place where there is a rotating black hole that folds space-time in on itself.
Why so?
Well,
Because just
mathematically, and it's theorized that
in
this is
the infinity of the galaxy, there has to be this occurrence.
right. And we know that there are rotating black holes out there, and
We know there are.
We've observed them, right?
And a star system with like two stars.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Yeah, not every black hole rotates, but we've seen rotating black holes.
Okay,
So
okay.
if the math works, and theoretically, if you were to have a rotating black hole, it could fold space-time in on itself, creating these loops where when you enter, you can exit at any point in time when it was created.
Yeah.
So if it was created within the last like 600,000 years or a million years,
Yeah.
all
You
we
go
have
back
to
to
do
it
is
and
get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else changes and allows for time travel? Now, let's say to the future, or even just to slow time down enough for you to make a long distance flight. Let's say we find a closed time-like curve out there in the galaxy. We know where it is. And we know if we can get to it, we can come in and out at any point in space-time that we want.
Okay.
And if it's 600,000 years old, a million years old, we can come back to Earth at that point in time. So we need to be able to get there without aging too much and get back in the point in time that we choose out of this curve and back to Earth. So how do we do that? We need time dilation. And a way to accomplish that is speed and gravity.
Yeah.
And we talked about somebody named Bob Lazar, and he talked about working on
Element 115,
A
which
craft.
can create its own gravity.
which created its own gravity. And there's a picture of it. I have it up there.
No way.
This is the picture of the sports model.
I don't know, GL. I don't know what the F.
Yeah,
brother.
dude, it's weird stuff.
I don't know. That Shaybot, he's a government agent. This thing?
Yeah. So this is how
Sport model?
this was his etching of what
This is the GT version?
and how it worked, right? And so he draws it, and this is him. He actually hand drew this, right?
Lazar did?
Yeah, Lazar. And what those squares are at the bottom of the craft, these sit underneath the cockpit area, which is in that center area there.
Sure.
You see how there's like
Are those
this-
windows, those circular things?
No, they're just black squares. I don't know what they're used for.
These things, this circular.
Oh, no, that's inside the craft. That's the cockpit area. There's no windows at all. You don't use windows. They would navigate telepathically as far as he can tell because there's no control panels. There's no control surfaces, joysticks, buttons, nothing. There's no...
Yeah, and he said nothing was connected, like by wires or anything.
No.
It's all
Yeah.
standalone. So weird.
But in the center, you see that antenna there?
I do, yeah.
That's what they would do is they would use these, not a cyclotron, but the CERN,
Jesus.
the collider.
Starts with a P.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Proton.
It's a
Particle accelerator.
Particle accelerator thing.
Ba-doom.
Okay.
I knew it was a P.
So they would use this particle accelerator with this element 115, and
In
it
the
would
middle of the craft, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the center of the craft, and it would create this stable element 115 that had gravity waves coming off of it. And at the bottom there were these wave guides that would guide the gravity waves.
So that could be used for a couple of things.
Yeah.
One, to be able to pivot and move and whatever. If you're creating your own gravity,
If you're not being,
then you're not being.
you're not held by
There's
Earth's
no
gravity
G
anymore.
forces that
Nothing.
are coming. There's nothing that's stopping you from going and turning on a dime and flipping.
Yeah,
And
no
also,
inertia,
if you're creating your own gravity, you could dilate time.
and slow it down. You could slow it down so much that you'd be able to, by creating your own gravitational force,
Yeah.
and not relying on any, and being basically cutting the ties from any celestial body such as Earth, from their gravitational force on you. You would basically be like no clipping.
No,
like the way
yeah.
these crafts move, they can move in any direction, stop on a dime, right? Why would if aliens are future humans? That's a big hypothesis.
Sure.
Why
we've
would they?
posited that.
Why do they need a craft that goes interstellar? Right? If they're just traveling through time here, why would they need to leave? Why do we clock these things coming in and out of the planet's atmosphere all the time? Why do they need to leave Earth to travel through time?
There's a wormhole out there.
That's
they
what
need to
I would
get to.
think. So let's say you found a closed time-like curve out in the center of the universe.
Okay. Yeah.
You create your own gravity to slow down your aging and to slow down time for you.
Because that would be the only way.
Yeah, you could do it.
Let's say it's 2
Yeah.
billion light years away.
Yeah.
Whatever. So if you have the speed
Yep.
and creating your own gravity potentially
Gives them that ability. Yep.
So they could go there and not age a million years.
Nope. Yeah.
Not age a minute.
Yeah. It
And
could
they
take
could go,
depending on how much gravity.
age
Yeah. And
maybe
depending on
a
how
minute.
fast.
Yeah. And then
They
get there.
both. They have both. They've got the speed and the gravity.
Yeah.
So they could slow time down so much that this trip that would age you 10,000 years might age you 2.
So 2 things.
Yeah.
One, you're saying aliens are possibly time traveling future humans.
Yes, I think that's a really popular theory, and it makes sense because of how they look. What are the odds another species on another planet
Bipedal,
looks like
fingers.
us? It doesn't make
it's
sense.
weird. No, it doesn't make any
They
sense.
have eyes and noses. And
It doesn't make sense.
The whole thing is silly. It doesn't make. And how many of these accounts? I think it's some 70% say that the Greys are not the only things on the craft. That they're humans. There are people that look just like us.
I've heard this.
Travis Walton. There was a person on the ship that calmed him down.
Stan Romanek said the human like he said
There
he
you go.
breeded with another human woman there,
Right.
And they had hybrid children.
Yeah.
And I showed you a picture once. Remember the little girl?
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's number one. You're saying aliens could be future humans that are using wormholes.
Yeah.
And the
So
second
the craft, so the craft itself isn't the time machine.
but real quick,
Yeah.
and then you could say everything you need to say.
Yeah.
And the second thing
Yeah.
would be that this element 115, which Bob Lazar posited was a real thing in the 90s, and then was
Late
synthesized.
80s. Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s,
Yeah.
and then was synthesized
Yeah.
recently in a
Yeah.
lab. You're
2012,
saying
I think.
this so fairly recently.
Yeah.
So stop correcting me. No, I'm kidding.
That's not correcting. I'm just
I know,
adding
I know,
to
you're
it,
adding,
yeah.
I know, fuck it. But so this element 115 could be the key to time travel. Period.
Yeah. So if you can get this, if you can create your own gravity and you can move at speeds, which we know they can, we've clocked these things going.
Oh, yeah.
12,000 miles per hour.
I've personally seen. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
you and I have seen. Remember,
Something
it was
that-
moving like that.
it moves too
and then it
fast.
would separate. Like, what is it? What are we even looking?
It's too
at?
fast, dude. When I watch
Across
a
the
jet,
sky.
even like a hypersonic jet, it's slow. Yeah.
And
compared to
it's
what we
going
saw.
fucking insane fast.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just crawling across
Yeah,
the
it's
sky.
crawling. This
snail's
thing,
pace.
The thing we saw could go from one side of the sky to almost ground level and then back to the top of the sky
In an instant.
as fast as my finger can move.
Yep.
That's not. There's no craft that can do that. That the speeds of which and the inertia alone, you couldn't have a person in a ship like that. So let's say, based on their biology, that future humans, they create these Greys to do the dirty work, but there's future humans that are in charge of this program. They need to be able to leave the Earth's atmosphere, and they can with these crafts. They're protected. They have their own gravitational field. And by which they're protected from any outside influences.
yeah.
They run on a huge, immense amount of energy and power, which they pull out of the atmosphere. If you know anything about the flux liners, and we did an episode about that, they use what's called 0-point energy, which had been invented over and over again by so many different people, all of which are deceased in strange ways.
Yeah, why does this happen?
right.
I'll actually just not to interrupt, super quick. I just saw a short about the guy, YouTube short about the guy who was healing everybody naturally.
Yeah.
And then fucking
Yeah, he's
Mr.
great.
God.
We should do an episode on him.
We absolutely need to, because. Dude, it was trying to sell me something. I think it was to TikTok. TikTok is all sales. That's all they're doing. It'll even be somebody telling a story, and then it'll say shop now.
I
and
know,
you're
it's
what?
weird. What?
And then at the end, it'll be like, and if you want what the same secret he had, it's like, no.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. He's younger and healthier than ever. He's finally got out of the hospital, and he's stronger than he's ever been because of this.
Yeah, this one was literally saying that doctor.
Yeah.
And it showed him talking and stuff. And it's like, this doctor, his secret was, it's called blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, and if you want to buy, blah, blah, literally saying you could buy the secrets that cured cancer.
Yeah. And that was proven in court. There's court documents showing that he cured what we believe to be incurable diseases. I think there were 70 witnesses that were terminal
They all
that
came
he
forward, yeah.
fully cured. But so that's a tangent. But let's get back to this. I like the idea that the reason these craft have to leave Earth's atmosphere to time travel
their wormhole,
and why
baby.
they've been seen throughout history at different points in time. Columbus, dude, if you were a future human, wouldn't you want to see Columbus sailing on the ocean? For
sure.
Why is he one that saw one? Alexander the Great saw one. George Washington saw one. Why are they showing up at all these pivotal points in our history?
Well, Can I show you a quick video
Yes.
that speaks to that?
Yes.
And then before we get to the movie stuff, I do want to show you a quick little montage of very cool movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to what you're saying, and we actually just put a highlight out about our episode regarding the Vatican archives. But check
That's
this
fun.
out.
Vatican Church hiding a time machine. In 2002, a French Catholic priest named Father Francois Brune wrote that a device called the chronovisor was held deep in the archives of the Vatican. This
Chronovisor.
device, using crystal technology, was said to be able to pick up unscrambled electromagnetic radiation emitted by past events, essentially allowing the user to see into the past. It was quickly confiscated and kept in the Vatican archives, as the Pope deemed it dangerous, even though the team that invented the device, consisting of Pellegrino Ornetti, Nobel Prize winner Enrico Fermi, and NASA space program scientist Wernher von Braun, were able to produce photo
some heavy
evidence
hitters.
supposedly witnessing the crucifixion of Christ. They were quickly shut down and branded as a hoax by the church. However, soon after, a law was passed in the Vatican stating that anyone who is caught using a time-manipulating device will be excommunicated from
What?
the church. If the chronovisor was just a hoax, why was this law passed?
Great question.
Yeah. They
Weird.
were said to have had, based on Grush's testimony, the first craft that was given over to the U.S. government, right? And it was from an archaeological dig in 1938. So maybe there's something to that.
But to your
too.
point, why are they going to these pivotal moments? Perhaps Werner von Braun took a picture of the crucifixion of Christ.
But yeah, if you had a stake in this planet's survival and wanted to see its history firsthand, you would show up at all. Dude, go to any figure in history of note, and they have a UFO story. So what are the odds that the aliens just happen to be there during these
you and I
pivotal
have
moments?
a UFO story too. Maybe just a lot of people see them.
Yeah, but I'm saying at these pivotal points, I think it makes sense that
Hey, Felicity, she's back. JB, what's up, girl? Shaybot, always.
they might be
Tina.
time tourists in a way.
Given life, of course.
This
Sorry. They might be what?
time tourists. If I had access to a time machine, I would want to see all of these moments in history.
They might be time tourists.
The moment that Washington encountered this being was right before they sailed back over the Potomac after the spy had told them, "Oh, their army's so tired and they can't fight, so you can just tell all your troops to stand down and you can." And
Wait, it was when?
it was when the crossing of the Potomac where they
Potomac?
where he's standing
Yeah,
over the.
I thought that was the what's it called, river?
If I have the wrong river,
What do you? Yeah, it's named after a state.
Oh yeah, what am
The
I?
Philadelphia.
No, it's the.
Dude, come on. What are we, the worst right now?
Well, we talked about it on another
Washington
episode, which
crossing
is
the Pennsylvania. What is the
funny.
goddamn?
No, it's
starts with like a P.
it's in
Chat, help us out. We're dumb as hell.
uh,
Washington crossing the. It's named after a state or a city, dude.
is it because I'm thinking of the one in DC?
Probably.
Because that's the Potomac.
It's not the Potomac River. It's like it's the fucking
Anyway,
the Colorado River. I don't know. It's
anyway,
named after
that
like a
it's that
state.
famous moment where the army, after
that's trippy.
battle,
That's wild.
goes back across and takes them by surprise, and that's what turned the tide of the entire war. It's one of the most pivotal moments in the Revolutionary War. That's where he sees it. Columbus.
The Delaware, bro.
The Delaware, thank you.
I knew it was named after a state.
Yeah, I was thinking, I guess Washington, Potomac, so whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, at least we have the
Delaware,
right
yeah.
one out there.
Yeah.
So the moment that George Washington encounters this being from this UFO is right before he crosses the Delaware, the famous moment that turns the tide in the Revolutionary War. These sound like time traveling tourists
as you said,
and
yeah.
historians of sort that wanted to see firsthand the history of humanity.
So we do have a bunch of the movies
Yeah.
we got to get to, but and I do want to show a bit of that montage. But let me ask you this: if you were a time traveling tourist,
Yes.
and chat, I want you to chime in on this as well. Where would you go if you had a time machine?
Time machine. So I have access to multiple
You could
trips.
go anywhere. No, you have one. You have one trip. You can go there and come back. You have one trip anywhere in the past or future. I mean, that wouldn't make sense much. But if you can go anywhere in history, where would you go as an observer? You're not going to get shot. You're not going to get caught. You're not going to get killed. You have a cloaking technology. You can go to the past.
So I
Where are you
basically
going?
have the sports model. I can go
You
take
have
it to
the sports
the
model.
to the
You have
time
the
like curve,
GT,
and I
yeah.
can come out wherever I want, come back and not age.
You
very
have the GT Spider. Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
One place. See, that's what sucks is our historical record is a mess. I believe that we have a lot of things
What do you
wrong.
think you could clear up by an observation?
But that's the thing is if I don't go, let's say I pick 15,000 years ago, ancient Egypt.
And this is, and everyone knows you're going on this trip, and they're gonna believe every word you say when you come back.
Oh, well, I'll take pictures, right?
Sure,
I would,
sure.
yeah.
That'd be smart.
But let's say I picked 15,000 years ago, ancient Egypt, because I want to see when the pyramids were actually built or how. And what if they're 30,000
Go back
years old?
30,000 years to see if they're there, and
Yeah.
be like, whoa.
But that's the thing is I would want to be able to keep going until I found it, till I found the actual construct. That would answer so much of our history. So that would be what I'd want to do. I wouldn't pick Atlantis because we don't know enough. But I think we would get answers to that question if we were to see the creation of the Great Pyramids.
Like Quantum Leap, I would go back to make right with what once went wrong. I don't remember that. I never really watched that show.
Dude, Quantum Leap's so good.
No, I seen a couple episodes.
What's
but
weird is
not enough to remember.
So he disappears, but he goes into other people's
Bodies, yeah.
So wouldn't it just be a like consciousness trip? Wouldn't his body still be sitting in a chair somewhere?
It should be there
Yeah, and
Well,
it's his consciousness moving through
because
time.
his physical. But yeah, they didn't.
His
care about
body
that.
appears in
Or
another
they
body.
thought
It'd just be a
about it,
big meat
and
explosion
they're like
every time.
Or they thought about it and they're like, do we want his body just chilling there?
Well, the point is that he's lost in time, right? If he's
That's
just
what I'm
a
saying. I don't think they
vegetable,
want
yeah.
his body just chilling there, and then somebody just takes him out or kills him, whatever. And now the whole show's over just because his body was a vegetable in his office.
That's the issue with Quantum Leap. But the time travel part is very cool.
It is cool.
Is that he can affect and change the past.
And the coolest aspect is that he goes into, he doesn't know whose bodies, and he'll just become a janitor at a high school at where.
Did you know they remade the show?
Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
No.
There's a reboot. It's
What's it
so
called?
good.
I'm just kidding. Is it good?
It's so good.
Who's in it? Anyone big?
No.
Any names?
All recognizable. Winston runs the program from Ghostbusters. I don't know his real name.
Oh yeah, no one does. That's
Yeah,
okay.
he runs the program, but everyone in it is from some other show or movie that you would know.
Yeah.
It is a pretty star-studded cast, except for one new person who I'm not really sure who they are.
Oh, that was the hidden aspect of a higher source guiding him, like God.
To right wrongs. Yeah. But what it was originally built for was cool. It was a way for the military to fix military mistakes, battles that went wrong. You would go into the guy who's running the team's body, and you would tell the team what to do to survive and win that battle.
Yeah.
That's why they develop it. It's the military builds
Sick.
it. But this guy...
What is this on? Paramount
NBC.
Plus or some shit? Oh,
Yeah.
Peacock.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. GL said the new Ghostbusters is the shiz.
Oh, it is.
Did you see it?
Ghost,
I'm sure.
Frozen Empire. Yeah.
Frozen Empire.
Dude, it's
Is it
Ghostbusters.
good?
It's the whole cast is back.
I still haven't seen Aftermath.
You get both casts again. You get the passing of the torch, and you get the whole old crew, and it's a fun one. It's a fun ride. All the equipment, they're back in the firehouse. Dude, it's just so cool. And I love the seat, like the seat that comes out that they can shoot from.
Oh,
the
yeah,
car.
that's dope. I saw that in the
That's
trailer.
a cool
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
addition.
I broke my knuckle, by the way.
The traps
We don't
are
gotta
cool.
talk about that.
Yeah.
But do you see? Look how ballooned that is.
Yeah, that happens.
It sucks. I broke this knuckle, and now I broke this knuckle. I didn't know it was broken until last night. I was feeling it, and you could literally move this. Anyway, neither here nor there. So we got movies
Yeah,
to rank.
Shay-Bot, I agree. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Is that like because he was fixing like cosmic mistakes,
Yeah.
like people who were wronged or that were killed that shouldn't be, and people that got away with it. He was preventing those mistakes in time. But now, to end all of this,
Real quick.
yeah.
Where I would go in time? Do you want to know where I would
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. You know what I would do is I would I'd go and I'd grab someone and I'd put them in front of Franz Ferdinand so he wouldn't get killed.
You think that would prevent World War One? I think no matter what,
I
they
would.
were going to make
It would
happen.
delay it.
Yeah,
it would delay it about a couple months.
Unfortunately, we find out that a lot of these wars were inevitable, that people were looking for a reason.
Yeah.
And that was just something that gave them the excuse.
They're like, oh, well, I'm going to be on this guy's team. Yeah, we know you are.
You know what makes
and I'm going
me-
to be on his team. Yeah, we know.
Very sick to the stomach every time I think about it.
What's that?
Lyndon B. Johnson, while they're still burying JFK, takes the memorandum that says that he's not going to send troops into Vietnam, that he's going to scale it back. And you can actually see this because it was released by the JFK Records Act. He crosses out the words and rewrites in the actual memorandum. He crosses words out and rewrites that he's going to send more troops, and that he's going to send soldiers to fight. He undoes his Vietnam policy while he's still being buried.
Of course he does. Why do you think he was fucking killed, bro?
Hours.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
one of the many reasons.
That's one of them.
He wanted to get rid of the Federal Reserve. He wanted to get rid of the CIA. He wanted to get rid of the FBI. He wanted to tear down a lot of
It's
these
the
things.
why. That's the real question, isn't it? The how and the when is just for the
Remember,
public.
we showed that scene on the show.
It's just a spectacle for the public that keeps them from asking the most important
JFK,
question.
the movie
which is,
JFK.
Why? Who wanted him dead?
Donald
He does
Sutherland's
the
scene
finger
is
thing.
so
Yeah.
fucking good, dude.
Who wanted him dead? Who pulled it off?
Yeah.
And he switches to he
God
goes
bless
this
him.
and he switches to this. And who had the power to cover it up?
Oh, does
who
he?
wanted him dead? Yeah. How did they do it? And who had the power to cover him up? It's so
The best finger movements is
Yeah.
I don't even remember the movie Rock of Ages.
Yeah, Rock of
But
Ages.
he goes like
5,
4, and then he was like 3, 2,
Two-
1.
it's two.
Oh yeah, that's it. I fucked up
Yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
It's
So
good.
dumb.
It's all the same.
Only the names have changed. Dude, Tom
What a
Cruise.
song.
He's the best.
But so to wrap up this time travel, I said that I wanted
Put
to
a condom on it.
speculate on who, if they have access to this technology, who's using it? What are they using it for? Now we can make a strong guess based on testimony. There's another hearing coming up that we have retrieved crashes of the technology being used here. The sport model that Lazar worked on, whether you believe Lazar's story or not,
Yeah.
there is too much evidence that we have access to these craft that can go interstellar.
Speaking of the Vatican archives, we heard
Yeah.
that the Vatican gifted us.
They
a
had
craft.
one, so and we've had what they say more. There's 12 of them that at least that they know about.
knows, yeah.
Lazar had 9 just at where he was in
At
the one
S4,
base.
at S4.
S4, yeah. So if we have a working craft, then you would have the ability to travel through time if you understood these principles. And who has this stuff? It was recently released, and it was Dopsered, so that they were legally allowed to say.
Explain what Dopser is.
So it's the Defense Department pre-publication review. Yeah.
But explain what it is.
Publication review. So what it is before you can talk about anything that you did with the government when you have a top secret clearance, you have to send it to a group that looks through and makes sure that there's no active top secret military programs that you're outing. That's going to cause problems.
No name, dates, or times that can hurt
And you
current.
have to stay within these guidelines. Only what they allow you to say. Now, if they want to challenge you and prevent you from saying something, the group that is challenging it has to tell you who they are that's challenging it and why. So why did they let Grush talk? Why did they let some of these guys that from the OSAP program talk? Because they would have to say, don't talk about this, and you would have a record of this. The CIA says you can't talk about this because it's an ongoing program. They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So they kind of got to let you just let
Some
the public.
things, they got to pick their
say
battles.
It's crazy,
They got to
right?
pick their battles.
They won't believe it anyway, right? It sounds like craziness. Let them say it. But they don't want to give you
And
the
they're
hard
right.
proof. It's
How many fucking people have come out?
I know, and people still don't believe it. It's wild.
It's crazy.
But that Lockheed Martin
or
is,
more importantly,
Yeah.
people do believe it, and I think they've muddied the water so much that it's just like, okay, there's aliens. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. As opposed to like, wait, are they working with the government? What are they here for? Or what is their tie to nuclear weapons? Like, there's so many questions.
Yeah.
That
maybe
people
just
should
a
be asking.
stake in the survival of the planet because they're from here. But
And if
They
that's
look like
possible,
us,
what? Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
So So OSAP, the guys that ran OSAP wrote a book, and in the book they actually say we were getting a Lockheed Martin
This
transfer.
is the Lou Elizondo thing?
No, Lou Elizondo was ATIP. This is before ATIP was OSAP.
OSAP,
These are the
ATIP.
guys that had to go to the ranch and do. But that's not.
yeah.
But that's not what
Skinwalker Ranch.
they just had to do that because they didn't get what they really wanted. What the program was spun up for was for them to take possession of a craft that they had breached the hull of and study it in Vegas at one of Bigelow's warehouses. They had put in a request for Lockheed to transfer this craft of unknown origin into their custody for them to study. That's what the whole program was for. Then, when they were denied access, Lockheed was willing to do it. It was government, internal government, the CIA specifically, they say, that blocked the transfer of the craft to OSAP. Once they didn't have access to the craft, they used their resources and the money that was allocated from Congress to study the ranch because there was so much phenomenon there.
Oh, that was their secondary.
That was the back. That was
the
like
backup plan.
yeah. The main plan was because they were already told they were going to get possession of this craft, and they were given the okay through Lockheed. So if we know Lockheed has one, we know there's a few other companies that got a few of these things that they've been working on.
Yeah,
they could be using it,
and of course use a third party like
you have to, yeah,
because there's no need for transparency.
yeah.
They don't have to be like, okay, well, we are the government, so you did a Freedom of Information Act request.
Yeah.
Here you go. No, they're like, hey, free market capitalism.
How
baby.
many discoveries were made, and how much technology do they have patents on that should belong to the people?
Of course.
There's probably a ton.
Yeah, probably a lot.
working on this stuff, right?
GL said, what's that movie called when the humans come back to take the world from robots? Extinction. I've never seen Extinction.
I've never seen that either.
I know. I was trying to come up with it, but I couldn't.
I know we're going to talk about some time travel movies now, but
Are you ready?
I wanted to ask that question. So do you think they're using it? These guys have the craft. We know it from that release, from that book.
Here's what I think. I think they had to have tested it, right?
Right.
Come on.
And so they can slow time down.
So
Do you think they figured out how to travel
here's
through
what
it?
I think. If
Yeah.
the test was even remotely successful, I think they'd have to.
Lazar used to
Let's
take
see
people
what-
out to watch them
what more
fly
we
it all the time.
So then, I mean, there's your answer. Fuck.
Do you think they've left Earth's orbit?
You would have to.
Right.
You would have to.
Got to try it out.
Even
Test
if
this out.
I'm there and I'm just a pilot and I'm
Yeah.
working on it, and they're like, "Hey, dude, do you want to fly a fucking spacecraft outside
Yeah.
of it? It's
It's like Will
dangerous. We
Smith.
don't know if you'll get back."
Like, oh, that's
I'll
all he
be like,
wanted.
Yeah, sure. And no one will know you did this. No one will
Yeah.
even know your name.
Yeah,
I'll
so
do it.
one of the heads of the program, he came out later. He said that one of the hardest things for the pilots was dealing with the time dilation.
Oh, I'm sure.
That they had to train them in how to measure the amount of time that they would lose traveling far
They
distances.
had to wear like 2 different watches and do like.
The guy,
Who knows?
yeah, there was some device they would use that's been later replaced by an electronic one, but they had like a manual device that they were, okay, if we go this fast, this far, we're going to lose this much time.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Dude, you want to talk crazy? Let's
Yeah.
talk about some of these movies right here.
So, yeah, I think they're using
Well,
this
we're going to
stuff.
talk so
Yeah.
much more about this when we get into these movies,
Okay.
so it's not like we're missing anything.
Yeah.
But here's a little taste of it, babies.
Do you know anything about time travel?
When I speak of time, gentlemen, I'm referring to the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is as real and true a dimension as any of the other three. Why
The music
is
is
it that we usually
insane,
ignore
but-
the fourth dimension? Because we have no freedom of movement within it. You see, we can move in the other three, but when it comes to time, we are prisoners.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Style points. I love the Time Machine's Time Machine.
That's cool.
Come here.
So fucking
I'll
loud.
show you how it works.
He's the
First,
best.
turn
Come
the
here.
circuits
I'll show you.
on.
Yeah.
This readout tells you where you're
Destination?
going. This one tells you where you are. This one tells you where you were.
Was that 12 Monkeys? The Jacket. Remember that flick? With Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
Meet Joe Bauer,
Idiocracy.
our first subject for the human hibernation experiment. With the Human Hibernation Project, we will be able to save our best men, frozen in their prime, for use when they are needed most.
Frozen in their prime.
Winter Soldier.
Lying in your bed.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Grand Hotel. And it is 6
Oh,
p.m.
Chris
in the evening
Reeves,
of
rest
June
in power.
27th, 19...
All right, we get the gist of it. So, Jared,
Yeah.
you know what time it is? Time. 2. Great. Okay, so we're ranking the best of the best time travel movies. Time travel movies.
Oh, there's so many good ones. Time travel is one of the best
So,
topics there is.
yeah, straight up. So don't mind all of these movies.
Okay.
We're just gonna do the top 18.
Okay.
Which the audience can't see all of them, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna start off with Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
So by the way, oh no, these aren't the names I had. That's such a shame. It's okay. We'll change it as we go. So
Okay.
here it is. Did it fix it? Nope, it didn't. It's okay. So, all right. The first movie is Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Where are we putting Avengers Endgame, Jared?
Okay, so one of the greatest movies ever. It just is. With Infinity War, every time you watch it, it gets better.
Yes, it does.
The time travel aspect of it is great. I love that they go at the quantum level, where all time simultaneous, and they just navigate it. They come out at a point where they want to come out. And
it seems like it's just seconds have gone by. Like, it's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
It seems like they go and they come back and they have as much time as they want
it's
in
true
between.
because you could pick when you come out. So so they can all come out simultaneously, no matter when they're done with their mission. They all show up and leave at the same time.
So
the time
we have
travel part is so cool.
Great Scott. We have This Is Heavy. We have the T-800. We have Stepping on Butterflies and Snapped by Thanos.
Endgame
I
is
spelled everything wrong.
Endgame's perfect.
What are we doing? We're saying Great Scott.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's so
perfect.
good. Great
Yeah.
Scott. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even without the time
Donnie
travel.
Darko.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I'll say it's T-800, like
Yeah, yeah.
mid-tier.
It's
Because the
still
movie
a great
itself
film.
is so dope.
Yeah.
But as far as like the time travel aspects, I don't think
Yeah.
they're the coolest thing in the world.
And they don't
they're not
explain
even
much
explained
of
at
it,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't even know what happened. Is it a dream? Is it?
We don't know anything.
We don't know. Is it wormholes
Did it
that
all
come out of your
happen? Yeah,
stomach?
while
Or
he was
fucking who
getting-
knows?
Hit by a plane.
So,
yeah.
In Time, a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's actually like a love story and a father-son story.
I
at the
thought
same
that was
time.
the time traveler's wife.
No.
I don't know In Time. I don't think I've seen it. Oh, is that the guy with the red hair?
Yeah, Donald
I don't-
Gleason.
I don't remember it.
Really?
Time Traveler's Wife's really good. I don't know this one that well.
Oh my God, it's tremendous.
Yeah,
So
I remember liking it.
it's like the sweetest. If Felicity's in the chat, I know she's.
I'll
seen
let
it.
you pick up because I saw it, but I don't remember much of it.
Oh man, for me, it's a This Is Heavy.
Okay.
It's so sweet.
Good.
And just the scene with him and his father. So real quick, I'll spin it for you super quick. The men in this family
Yeah.
have this weird ability to time travel, right? So what they do is they go into a closet and they think of where they want to go and they can go back to that
Yeah.
moment, right? And so the father has this ability. He tells his son, "You are
One
able to
day
do it."
it's gonna happen, yeah.
So you just go into the closet, think about when you want to go,
Yeah.
and you open the closet door and you're freaking there. So he does it, and the father-son relationship, exactly. Felicity, yeah, such a good movie. But so he goes and basically falls in love with this girl, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the great scene, I don't want to spoil it for you because you got to watch this movie, but it's the father is able to time travel, right? And he's coming to the end of his life, and the son is able to time travel. But when the son time travels and goes to see the father like knows that he's time traveling and this is like this is their last moment together.
Oh.
But he doesn't know that his father knows this.
Yeah.
But the audience picks up on it, and then he picks up on it, and you realize, oh my God, this scene from before is actually it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You got to watch it.
Cool.
Just unreal, so good, holding on to the last moment.
Yeah.
Because he wants to go back and that
Of
last
course,
time
yeah.
that's what it was. He had the last moment he had with his father, and then the father knows, oh yeah, this is it, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it, it's so good, bro. But so
I
yeah,
remember something like that. Yeah.
I'm certain you've seen I don't know.
did.
It's
Yeah, I
this
just
is
don't
heavy.
remember it,
It's
yeah.
not perfect
Yeah.
like an Endgame is in a lot of ways,
Right, just
but
so
it's damn
great.
good. So Back to the Future is 1, 2, and 3. So here's what I'm going to do, and then you can change it if you want. I'm going to say Back to the Future 1 is Great Scott.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
it's
Back
the
to the
king
Future
of
2 is
time
Great
travel
Scott.
films,
And
yeah.
I'm going to say Back to the Future 3 is T-800.
Yeah, if we're not going to put them all together, then yeah. The third one was
There are 3 different movies. I say we separate them because the
the
third one is
weakest.
definitely the weakest. The second one's your favorite.
yeah.
First one's by far my favorite. The first one's so good.
Dude, but him getting to
I
watch
love-
everything
I
play
love those.
out.
Just-
He
that's
sees
why I
his
love
dad.
Endgame.
He didn't get to see his dad hit Biff. Remember, he missed
Yeah.
it just by a second.
Yep.
He got to see him
I love
do it. But then when he sends him off to the future and he runs around the corner, no, I sent you back, guys. Yeah, but I'm back from he's
From
like,
Doc.
oh,
I'm back from the future.
we just did this. Yeah.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
Scott.
Because he's celebrating.
Yeah.
And at the end of the first movie, that's the end of the film.
yeah.
But then we pick right where
And
we
he
left off.
runs around
You're
the-
like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
There's only one man that can help me now. Yeah, it's a good movie, dude.
Okay, so you like 1 and 2 in Great Scott. I only did that for you. I would put number 2 in This Is Heavy, but I would go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, together they're so good.
But separately?
Yeah, separate. Like I said,
Which is better, 1 or 2?
I like 2 the best, but it can't survive without 1.
I'd say boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Can you live with that or what?
I think 2 has a better ending and it's more exciting, but it doesn't live on its own. Yeah, it is to me.
Okay.
Yeah, but it can't live on its own.
So
you need the
because
first
of
one.
that.
But Endgame can't live without Infinity War.
Yeah, that's true. But it's still on its own a great movie.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make any freaking
No.
sense.
That's all that aside. I'm saying
Yeah.
just the quality of the movie itself,
Yeah.
with the context of the other films.
Yeah, the second one, they're going to the future. I like it. I like the idea of the almanac and
So what?
how trying to
Great
play.
Scott, This Is Heavy.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best time travel movies there is.
So what are we saying?
It sets
This works.
Yeah.
This does work. Okay, the butterfly effect. I actually have a soft spot in my heart for this movie, even though it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Like when
I think it makes sense. I like it.
Can I tell you the one thing that doesn't make any fucking sense
What?
at all?
Yeah.
When he's in the prison,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that great actor is dressed up like a Mexican dude for some reason.
Yeah.
And he goes back in time as a kid, does the thing, stabs his hands,
Yeah.
and then goes back to the prison so he could show the guy, look,
Yeah, because he was religious.
you think if you went and did that, everything else and every other thing in your life would be the exact same and lead you to that same prison cell with that same person? There's no fucking way. There's no way. That's the point of the movie, the butterfly effect. Any minute change changes your entire course of your existence. So for him to go back in time and do that, the day would be longer because he'd get called from his parents. Something would change, or he'd be in a different cell with a different person. There wouldn't be all the exact same circumstances. Fair?
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's fun as shit. I love the
Yeah.
movie, but
I
that
mean,
is the biggest plot hole.
you could probably pick
ever.
the
I'm
whole
sure there's
movie
a billion
apart.
of them in that
Yeah,
movie, but
I'm sure.
I have an affinity for the film. I'm gonna put it. I'd put it in either This Is Heavy or T-800.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not.
It's not.
Yeah,
T-800.
yeah, that's probably where it goes.
That's like mid tier though.
I think
I'd
it's
say a
better
cut
than.
above.
I think it's better than the
Donnie Darko.
Darko movie. Yeah.
I think it's better than. So right here, This Is Heavy. That's bold.
Okay.
Movies a creature.
Yeah.
Endgame is better because Infinity War propped it up to be the best.
Oh, yeah.
Chase, facts.
Yeah, you
Freaking
have to
facts,
have
my
it.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have Terminator 2, and that's no question.
Yeah.
It is not only just a great time travel movie, it's one of the greatest films ever made.
Oh, dude,
I just watched it like last week.
it's crazy.
No, it's fucking
so
amazing.
ahead of its time. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The graphics.
There's not,
No one's ever seen anything like that.
dude,
before.
and they hold up. Him on the floor coming back is so good.
Yeah, and
Going through the
terrifying.
bars and terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, and his performance, Patrick. Whatever
Yeah,
his name
yeah,
is,
he's good.
is so good.
Yeah,
Everyone's
I'm
great
good
in
with
that.
it. Yeah.
Click. I love this movie.
Me too. I think it's one of
I
the most
love this
emotional films with such a great message,
Such a good message.
and it shows you like, yeah,
Chris Walken as like the guy, who
Yeah.
does it, and it's Bed Bath and Beyond in the Beyond section. So many great scenes.
yeah. I think,
And then,
the
dude,
time travel.
but that emotional core,
yeah,
him when he sees his dad and he freezes it, and he's like mad at himself, you idiot, because he fast forwarded through his whole fucking life.
exactly.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it hits, and I know people shit on this movie, But I think
Do
this
they?
is oh
It's
yeah,
so
bro.
good, and the casting.
You don't got to tell me. I'm the biggest fan of this film.
Yeah, I'm totally up there with it. I think it's one of the best
What are we saying?
because it's a comedy film too.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's The Sandman.
Yeah, it's butterfly effect good, if any. I mean,
At the very
can't
least.
say it's not,
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed. So
Can't say it's
this
worse.
is heavy. All right. Deja Vu. That is the do you remember this movie?
Very cool idea.
Great concept.
Yeah, and I like that I mean, the payoff is they actually do get to interact at the end.
Yeah.
It's not this, they're not separated by time by the end of the film. He's able to go in and actually be there.
Like
so that
dude, like what's it
makes
called?
it better.
Spoiler alert. The source code, you realize no, he can't deal with this chick at all. He's a brain in a
Exactly,
fucking thing.
yeah.
So disappointing.
It is disappointing.
Yeah.
This, you get the payoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least T800.
I'd say T800.
Yeah.
Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow is one of
Is
the best movies there is.
Fucking
Yeah,
great, dude.
That is a curved time loop. That's exactly what
Yeah.
that
Oh,
is.
yeah. Exactly right.
It's
Just like Happy Death Day.
And
yeah,
Groundhog Day. Yep.
And Groundhog Day, which are both on here.
But that
Bro,
movie, dude,
that movie's
she's so
tremendous.
good in that. Oh my!
He's so good in that.
I like that he keeps doing it over and over to try to save her, and then eventually he tells her like,
Well,
"We've
he gives
done
it
this."
away.
Yeah, so
remember?
many times.
And he's like 3 sugars. Then he even says he knows her middle name, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, "How do you know my? How many times have we done this?"
Exactly. Yeah, she
Oh,
knows
she
because
figures
she
out
had
she
the
ain't no
power
dummy.
at
Yep.
one point.
Yep.
And he's like, "No matter what you do, you die. This you never get farther."
I've never
than
gotten
this
further.
point."
Yeah, past here.
How many
You're
times?
alive.
It's like hundreds of times, but he doesn't.
And
wanna
then
let
she
her
gets
go.
pissed.
Yeah,
She's like, "Go,
'Cause she's a
do it
soldier,
without me."
yeah.
Yeah. Soldier
Let
first.
me die. Yeah.
And then, dude, the end
And
when
he
he walks
can't.
in and she's doing the thing like
Yeah.
we've seen 100,000, and he just smiles.
Oh, I got something on my face. And
Yeah.
he's just like, ugh.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, baby."
And what's
girl."
cool is he can tell her what happened, and she'll believe it because she knows.
I'd had that power.
Yeah.
You lost it, dude. When they get in the car accident, and you're like, "Oh, he's gonna get a
this is it.
transfusion."
Yeah,
No.
this is it.
Yeah.
So one last life, and he's got to figure it out.
GL said a great movie.
Oh yeah, it's tops.
Dude, it's I'm gonna say Great Scott
Yeah, it's tops.
for sure, right?
Yeah,
Okay, Frequency,
yeah.
dude. Talk about it's not the time loop. It's the
He
other
didn't
one.
get to grow up with his dad, and then there was this serial killer, and at first they mess things up, and things
The
are
mom
worse,
dies,
and
yeah.
and so they have to solve. It's a
And
murder
he's-
mystery.
So a detective,
Yeah.
is having his dead father,
Yeah.
but in the past,
who he had no relationship with.
who he
because
had
of
no
that.
relationship with,
Yeah.
solve the murder of his mother because they change. Well, try to catch this killer, and then the mother becomes a victim because they avert.
Nightingale murders or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the best
Dude, it's a great
ideas
concept
for a film.
and
yeah.
I even love the science of it. It's not there's not like they go into it in great detail, but
No, yeah.
because of the solar flares,
Yeah.
there could be some science to that could where you could possibly pick up on sounds or something from a different time. You know, there's something there.
I think
like
that's
it.
how the chronovisor would work. Is like this energy would be somewhere out there in the universe, and if you could tune into it and put it back together again, where it's visible or legible, or you could hear it.
Yeah.
These sound waves last forever, right? So to be able to bounce sound
Oh,
waves,
sure, yeah, they don't die. Yeah.
Exactly, they just keep going. So if there was something that was sending them back
Solar
at a different
flares,
point
yeah.
in time, I think that there is some science there.
That's so dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, dude, I don't know. I don't want to stack Great Scott, but at least this is heavy.
Yeah, it's great.
Scott.
Yeah, dude, time travel movies. Are
What
just
are we
so
saying? I know.
freaking good.
I know. Some of my favorite movies apparently
Yeah.
are time travel movies. What are we saying?
Yeah, it's up there. If you haven't seen it, please go watch that movie. It's
Great
just-
Scott or This Is Heavy? I'm leaving it up to you.
Yeah, a second. It's not Endgame.
Okay.
Let's not get crazy.
It's not T2. It's not
Yeah.
and Edge of Tomorrow. Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's a comedy film. It's time loop.
It's a blast.
It's a classic. But it's not. It's not Back to the Future 2. It's not. Whatever.
It's not even Frequency.
Yeah, it's not frequency. Yeah,
It's fun.
If we were ranking comedy movies, that maybe different
man.
place.
Oh,
but
yeah.
for time travel, it's C or below. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm gonna say T800.
but it's brilliant.
I'm not putting it lower than T800.
No, yeah. I mean, I watched that movie 100 times.
I did also sort of cherry pick some of my favorites, and
Yeah.
the ones that we're going through, or at least ones I've seen and I know that you've seen.
Yeah.
So Interstellar.
Best depiction of modern day scientists' take on how time travel would actually work, how interstellar travel would actually work,
How black holes would look.
Yep. And even
How wormholes would look.
using it to go backwards in time and come out at a point that you would,
When he thought a wormhole would be like he didn't realize it would be a sphere.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and then what does he say to explain it to him? I forget, but it's genius. It's like if you take a hole and you look at it in 3 dimensions or whatever, or in 4 dimensions, I forget, but it's genius. Well, it explains why it's a sphere.
Yeah.
I forget, but it's genius. The whole movie's good.
Yep.
And how they even imply, and it's sort of corny, but it works, how they imply that there's a few constants like gravity, time, and love is one of them. One of the things that can transcend
Indoors,
just like how light doesn't need a medium of any kind.
Yeah.
Love can like transcend things, which is such a corny message, but it works within the context of the film.
Dude, come on. It's top. It's one of the best movies.
Dude, the cast is brilliant.
Yep.
The fact that Michael Caine was lying, there was never a can to save Earth. It was always finding a new home.
Yep.
Dude. And then it's this is Cooper Station. Wow, you named it after me. That's great. He's like, no, sir, we named it after Murphy Cooper.
Yeah, that's funny.
The great Murphy Cooper. Yeah. So good. So where do you think this goes right here?
Yeah.
This movie right here, where do you think it goes?
The top.
It's a hell of a movie.
It's the top. Yeah.
It's Grace Scott. Think so.
I mean, just like I said, scientifically, what we know, they must have had physicists help figure out how to write it.
They did.
Yeah.
And did you know, like, rendering the 3D models of the black hole and stuff took like not only hours, but like terabytes upon terabytes upon terabytes of RAM.
Magnificent.
Dude, yeah. But he wouldn't do it. He made a pact with this scientist beforehand. He said, hey, will you help me work out the mechanics? He's like, yep. I'll only help you under the condition that you don't put a single frame on screen that I don't approve of, that I think is not scientifically sound.
Good.
He said, deal.
Good.
That's Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a beast. So, dude, here's one. A hell of a film. Looper.
Yeah.
I don't even have
very
this on
cool.
screen.
Time loops again. We're talking time loop. Yeah, Time Cop, Looper, Monkeys Tomorrow. The chat.
Army of Darkness. Yeah.
How many good ones there are?
We're on Looper right now. So, The Tomorrow War. Oh, yeah, that's a fun one with Chris Pratt. But, all right. So, what are we saying for Looper, my dude?
I like that he finds a way to change it.
We're just self-sacrifice.
Yeah, that he saw like what all of this was leading towards, and it was leading towards the future that he's been living in that he hates, and it can all be avoided. And I love that his future self is trying to.
Yeah,
he has his own agenda.
Yeah, which differs from his, and he sees it play out. He sees the mom get shot, and the kid witnessed that, and then him on the train,
and
all
he's got
pissed
that
off,
power,
and then he becomes the what was the name of the villain? The
I can't
kid?
remember.
It's a cool fucking name too. Yeah. He becomes the whatever it is. So Looper, I think is tremendous. I think it's what's his name's best work. Knives Out is
it's just as good as Butterfly Effect or Click or
what's that director's
Frequency.
name? Ryan Johnson. I think it's Ryan Johnson's best. He directed The Last Jedi, which is the worst movie ever. He did Knives Out. He did
Those are all good.
The Glass Onion or whatever. The Knives Out.
Yeah,
like
I love all those
pseudo
movies.
sequel.
There's 3 of them.
But I think Looper is his best movie. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Where are we putting it?
Like I said, it's just as good as Butterfly or Back to the Future 2.
So great. So this is heavy?
Yes.
All right. That's heavy. All right. Days of Future Past. Just a fun movie.
It's got all the best characters, both casts. It's like one of the
Both
best
casts.
X-Men
We get to
movies
see
there
Patrick Stewart
is.
meet James McAvoy, which we never assumed.
So I would agree that it's one of the best. It's not Endgame, so it's got to be heavy.
But I'd say it's below Frequency, below Click, below.
Not for me because it's X-Men.
Dude, you're saying it's on the same level as Back to the Future 2.
Yes. Yeah, dude. The
same
both
level as
casts,
Frequency and Looper.
Yeah, Fassbender, all of them. They're so good, dude.
That scene on the plane is awesome.
All of it. Yeah.
Our mutant brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Where were you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is good. And then
Wolverine's in it. You got the young cast from all the origin movies, and Wolverine's there. It's just so good.
and it's adapting the Days of Future Past storyline from the comics.
Yeah,
which is such
yeah.
a cool fucking
Being able to
storyline.
send his consciousness back is the coolest thing ever.
You're saying this
yeah.
is heavy?
Yeah,
I'd
because
say
it's not
200.
Endgame level, but it's better than.
I'd say it's on
Darko and all
tier
that
with
crap.
Darko.
No,
It's better than
it's
not
better than all those.
I think Darko should even go up, but okay, let's do that. I'll say this is
it's
heavy.
that good. It's the best of the X-Men movies.
Ooh, First Class I think might be my favorite.
That's a good one. I
great one.
I just like Wolverine's here.
Logan, if that's an X-Men movie, then that is my favorite.
Yeah,
But,
that's the best one.
Primer you haven't seen, but that's a great Scott for me.
Is it really? Okay.
Dude.
I gotta watch it then.
I watched it 3 times back
Yeah.
to back because it's so, and there's a twist, and it's just
Yeah.
so fucking cool. And to even understand the twist, yeah, I had to watch it twice. Maybe I'm not the smartest
Okay.
guy in the world, but and then Happy Death Day,
Horror movie. I love
a
time loop
a
films.
time loop horror film. Bro.
I love it. The sequel.
So cool.
It deserved a
Trying
sequel.
to figure out who was killing you,
Yeah, it's genius. It's so much fun.
and then you die. You got to redo everything.
Palm
bro.
Springs is the best time loop movie. I think it's even better than Groundhog Day to me.
Melissa
It's
agrees.
so
Logan's
funny.
the best.
Yeah,
of
of course.
the-
Logan's.
It's fucking magnificent. That's actually what I'm watching right before I
It
got
is
here.
an X-Men film because you have other X-Men characters. X-23 is just brilliant.
Great.
But Death Day, yeah, I love it for what it is. I mean, it's at least T800. I mean,
No, it's on. I'd say it's on par. You think it's not on par with like Groundhog Day and Days
it's better
of
than
Vu?
Donnie Darko to me.
You're forgetting how good Donnie Darko is. I think because you're giving it a lot.
I
of
used to
flack,
watch it a
and that movie's
lot.
fucking great. There's a
Yeah.
reason you did.
Yeah, but I mean,
You watched it because it's just well written, well performed, cool.
I mean, you could put it under Back to the Future 3. I mean,
oof, Happy Death Day. I mean, I saw it the one time and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't revisited.
I think
it.
Groundhog Day is better, but it's different. It's hard to put these two against each other
Well, I know.
because it's a weird.
And
list.
again, if we're talking like horror films, it's a fun horror film.
yeah, it's so unique.
It's very unique.
Yeah,
But as far as time travel movies,
yeah, it's a time loop movie. It's again a crime solver, but you're the victim, and
it doesn't deserve
it's
to
a
be
slasher
snapped by
film.
Thanos.
No,
But is it
It's so
Is
cool.
it stepping all over butterflies?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For this list, because we're talking time travel, we don't really know
And
how she
we
got
got
into
we
the
got
loop.
some fucking heavy hitters.
We just
up
know there
here,
is
dude.
one.
We
Yeah.
got some heavy hitters that we're going against.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yep.
Okay. So I don't even remember time travel in Arrival. Do you?
I don't either. I don't remember that being a time
Yeah,
travel
that's so
film.
weird. All right, so last one we could do, or last two I want to do is Star Trek, the
Okay.
original.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
me too.
It's just a fun movie. The
It's
cast
an
is so
Abrams
good.
Star Trek with time travel.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, it's at least T800.
At least.
It could be, yeah,
Right.
could be higher.
And then
It deserved the
Terminator
sequels.
Salvation is my other favorite Terminator. Nobody gives that movie enough credit.
Do we get time travel in it? Isn't it just the story of him as John Connor?
It's
as
the
soldier?
future. Yeah.
It's more of like just the soldier.
It's
part
us
of it.
finally seeing the future.
Yeah, we get to see the fight, the war.
Is there any time travel?
I don't think so.
No,
It's just he's got the tapes of his mother from the past. That's it.
Okay, Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban, where they have the little necklace thing.
Yeah. So little time travel in that.
Is it Stepping on Butterflies? It's a fun movie, but as far as time travel movies,
If we were talking about a different genre, it might be higher. But it's like
it's probably one of my favorite Harry Potters. I haven't seen the last like 2 though, so I can't even talk.
yeah,
I'd say Stepping on Butterflies, baby.
yeah, that's fine. I'd put it even lower because of if we're talking about time travel, it's not a lot of time travel in there.
Naked with Marlon Wayans.
Cabin in the Woods, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know the
great.
time travel part of that though,
No, I don't think it's time travel. It's just such
No,
a good movie.
it is a
if we're
good
talking
horror
about
movie,
Yeah, great.
because it's
horror
like
films.
a mind fuck.
Yeah. What is this? The Tomorrow War or something? I don't know. All right. Anything else on here that you really want to rank? I never saw Predestination. Hot Tub Time Machine I could live without. Goldmember's fun, but you know, live without.
We're talking time
Idiocracy is
travel.
great. That's a good one. I'd even put that right here with T800. Idiocracy, just a classic.
Yeah.
Just so funny. I just watched it a couple weeks ago.
The time travel part of the Men in Black movie, but that's again, it would just be low on the list. It's not.
It
worth
would
talking
be
about.
stepping
You
on
don't
butterflies.
have
Which?
that one, the one that I thought that movie was the Time Traveler's Wife. That's
Oh,
such
yeah,
a
that's
good
on here.
movie.
Oh, that's on here.
Yeah, that's at least
That's
stepping on
right here.
butterflies.
Time Traveler's Wife.
or T800. That's really good.
Which one? T800 or Stepping on Butterflies?
I love that it's there's these set moments in time that he's always going to do, that he's always going to visit, and one of them is him.
I never saw it.
His parents getting in that car crash, and he's there.
I never saw
and
it.
he's the one that protects him. He protects his own self, and he tells him, "You're going to be okay."
I want to
Go
watch
wait
a movie
over
about
there."
the time traveler, not his fucking wife, bro. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, it's all about him. Yeah.
No.
It's
Oh,
just
is
the
it?
idea. Yeah, it's the idea of that.
Oh,
he's
what does she see?
meeting her at all these different points in her life when she's even a kid and stuff, and
Dude, Lost. How
it's
dope is
their
that?
connection
when
through
he
time.
meets the young version of, I know you. I
Yeah.
met you. Yeah. Oh, dude, that if we're ranking shows, I mean that shit. But
ton of time travel.
I
in
dig
that.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Lake House is great. The Jacket is great. There's some other movies on here that are amazing. But here's our list, and I like it a lot. It's Endgame for the Great Scott, the S tier.
We don't have Palm Springs, huh?
No, we could have a surrogate Palm Springs. So ready? Whatever this movie is Palm Springs. Where are you putting it?
It goes up there.
T800?
Yeah, it's up there for me. It's so, dude, I could watch that movie.
Like, what is
over and
this
over
movie though,
again.
for real?
I don't know.
If I could read that, maybe I'd know.
Yeah, there's no titles.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a fucking blotch of paint.
12 Monkeys is great. But all right, so there. What is this the surrogate for?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. Okay, so this movie
Have
with the
you
skull.
seen Penguin?
No, I'm waiting till it ends. It's over, right?
It's over.
I'm gonna watch it.
Dude,
It's fantastic.
Falcone, the daughter, she is the main character in Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah. She's a cutie. Yeah, I like her.
No,
When
dude,
the
she
big eyes, the
makes
girl with the big
Penguin.
eyes, right?
She makes that show. If she wasn't in
She
it,
plays Falcone's
Sophia
daughter.
Falcone, yeah. She is the show.
I
And
love how they
her and
changed it
Penguins-
from Falcone to Falcone, just so it would be a bat, a penguin, a falcon. When it's the wing with the rat with wings.
Yeah.
In the Batman movie.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
Batman, which is so good. Anyone
Yeah.
who talks shit on that movie, I'll fight you.
No, dude. And this ties right into it, and it must tie into what's coming next. This show. This show sets up so much.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
And dude,
it's all
Colin Farrell
callbacks to what's
is
going
so
on.
good. Who knew? How does he do that?
I don't know. But dude, his character, this is the best penguin there's ever been.
I love how we're talking
It's
about the penguin now.
Unreal.
I know. But okay, so let's just recap. So for Great Scott, the best of the
Yeah.
best as far as time travel movies, we have Avengers Endgame,
Yep.
the first Back to the Future, Terminator 2, Edge of Tomorrow, Interstellar, and Primer.
Yeah, come on. These are all crazy hits.
Phenomenal. For This Is Heavy, the A tier,
Yep.
we have About Time.
Yep.
Or In Time? About Time. In Time is great though.
In Time's
nothing to do with time travel,
Nope.
but that's their currency. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then so in About Time, Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
The Butterfly Effect.
So
Click, Frequency,
Yeah.
Looper, and Days of Future Past. And in the T800 B tier, we have, well, I guess C, whatever. you wanna call it. We have Donnie Darko,
Yeah.
Back to the Future 3, Deja Vu, Groundhog Day, the original Star Trek remake, J.J. Abrams remake, Idiocracy, and
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, yes. It's the best. That's the best cover for our Palm Springs.
It's
surrogate.
so not Palm Springs.
And at all.
Yeah.
And then Stepping on Butterflies, our D tier, we have Happy Death Day.
Yep.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
And The Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah.
As far as time travel movies, I think that's fair. GL said The Tomorrow War should be at the top.
What's that?
That's the one with Chris Pratt, remember?
Oh, he's right.
It's
That's
a
one of
fun
my
movie.
favorite movies. Just for fun, and it is all time travel. Yeah, I would throw that up there.
Where is that? I think it's even on here. I think I saw
That's
it.
right there. You just passed it. Left, left, left. Isn't that it?
Where this?
Yeah.
That's Terminator Salvation.
Oh.
The Tomorrow War, I think this is it, honestly. Isn't that it?
I don't know.
That's it.
Could be.
Yeah, that's for sure it. Where are you putting it?
Oh, it's great. It's like one of Pratt's best movies. It's It's got,
I didn't love it.
really.
Yeah.
It's at least Days of Future Past.
Who plays his daughter? Oh yeah, Olivia Wilde.
yeah,
so sexy.
it's at least Days of Future Past.
You think no? It's not. This is head. Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah, it's really that good. It's
Because I don't remember it
freaking
too well.
good.
I didn't love it. I remember. I thought it was fun, but
Yeah,
I didn't think
he's
it was
so
like-
good at it. That's what made him cool enough to be in that other show where the Terminal List. Did you see that show?
The Terminal List.
Yeah.
It's a cool name, but no. But if GL says it's worth it, I trust this.
It's
fool.
Pratt's best role, Terminal List.
Oh shit.
It's his best ever. He's such a badass. He's a SEAL. Oh my god, he pulls it off.
And now we can see the tomorrow.
Yeah.
More. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I love it, dude. Good stuff. That's it, right?
Yeah.
I love it. That was fun.
Time travel.
Time travel, bitches. From
Time
Jared.
travel. Let me guess, you ended up pushing time through Lang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
No,
need a
I think
GPS.
chat was loving. You guys were all up in this. Thank you for all the help today with the time travel stuff.
Even though it's a part 2.
Yeah, Shaybot, thank you for all of your thoughts on the actual time travel. And thank you, Felicity, Given Life, Chase, for helping us out with the list. Everybody else that was in the chat, Tina, thank you so much for joining us live. Jessica. Yeah, we'll see you for the next one. We've got a ton of videos out there. Go check them out in the videos tab. Make sure like, subscribe. We don't ask enough, but it helps us
I know, we
tremendously.
always
Please.
forget. Yeah, exactly. Everything Jared said.
Yeah.
No, so Comedy of the Time Loop. Yeah. Palm Springs, Comedy of the Time Loop. It is great. So guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Everything Jared said. Like, subscribe. It means the world to us. And we have basically a highlight coming out every day now. So go check those out. Just comment on them. It all helps traffic to get people to our lovely show that you all enjoy. And so that enough people show up that we get kicked off the internet. Yay! All right. Love you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week for another fun show. In the meantime, you're probably going to get like 6 new highlights.
Yeah.
So enjoy those. We love you. Our editor is a beast. We'll see you on that flippity flop. And we love you more than anything. And that's that. Right, Jared?
That's it.
We'll see you on the flippity flop later, skater!